And now it is my honor to introduce Livonia's First Lady. Karen and Dennis Wright have been married for 42 years. They have 2 sons, Danny and Andy. And since we last convened, they were blessed with their second grandchild, Lucas, to go along with his older sister, Olivia. She is the First Lady for our city and for Dennis, and we're glad she is back today again to introduce our featured speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Karen Wright.
Thank you, Dan. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here. I want to share some fantastic news about our St. Mary Mercy Hospital right here in Livonia. Our senior emergency ER department achieved Level 1 Geriatric Emergency Department accreditation by the American College of Emergency Physicians, which is gold standard, and this makes us number 1 in the state of Michigan. I am so very proud of St. Mary's and their entire staff, and especially our senior emergency department. I loved watching everyone come into the room today. People seeing old friends, former colleagues, and some even meeting others for the very first time. Hugs, handshakes, network, and smilings. I want everyone to leave today with smiles after hearing our mayor tell you all the wonderful things our great city has and will accomplish. And of course, because you had a good time with us today. And speaking of fun times, our grandchildren, Olivia and Luke, sure put smiles on their Mimi and Papa's faces. So let's sit back and enjoy, as Olivia and Luke are doing, waiting for their Papa. So now to bring up my husband, oh shoot, wait, where's Dennis? Okay, we all know he scoots pretty fast. Let me call his cell number. Let's see if we can find him. Anybody know where he's at? Well, hopefully we can find him.
There's so much good stuff. I don't know where to begin with this state of the city.
Mayor, check this out, check this out. Look what came up on my memory from the L-Town Business Insider on Facebook. Oh my God, it's the old Chi-Chi's development. I love those chips and salsa. You've got to talk about the Aldi's development. Oh my gosh.
It's a great idea, Barb. It's such a nice improvement. You know, I do miss those tacos and nachos. But what a great investment to have a new thriving store in that corner.
Hi boss, check this out. Someone posted a picture on Instagram of the old Rotary Park. You should definitely talk about the new universally accessible playground we have there.
Yeah, that's a must. What a great job everyone did gathering funds to pay for it. From Healthy Livonia, the state of Michigan, and of course the Rotary Clubs. What a great job all the volunteers did. We couldn't have done it without them.
Mayor, if you're looking for something else for State of the City, don't forget the old CB Swim Club rebuild. Remember when we watched it getting torn down?
Yeah, Mark, what a great job getting that eyesore removed from the neighborhood. Now they're constructing brand new housing right on Linden and Harrison.
But wait, boss, there's more. You remember when the corner of Amrine and Eccles was just a closed auto plant? That should be in State of the City.
That's right, I remember. Not much going on there now, just the giant Amazon building in our NDC. This has to be part of the speech.
Oh, and don't forget about the new storage unit going up at Clover Lane.
And the house is being built at the old Clay
And
School.
Tadingen Park and the new bridge.
And the Aldi, and the Aldi.
Tadingen Park.
Yeah, we got a bunch of places.
Tadingen Park.
No. I'm sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, my husband, your mayor, Dennis Wright. Okay, let me say that. Oh my gosh, what happened to you? What happened to him back there? Oh, okay.
Well, thank you. And thank you, dear, for taking care of me there. We'll talk later. Has anyone seen my cell phone? Thank you all for joining us today. Today is about Livonia, and the state of the city is exceptional. But before I begin, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is my final State of the City address. I will leave this job at the end of the year to focus on my health. It won't be easy, but it needs to be done. Man, I do love this job, and I'm gonna miss it. Okay, now let's talk about our city. Let's start with some facts that you may already know about and some you don't. We have the lowest total tax rate in all of Wayne County. Our unemployment is still about 2.2%. We still have the best public services. That's because we have top-notch workers and a great bunch of department heads. Their dedication makes my job easy. I'm proud of all the services our employees do every day. One of the places is the libraries. Last year, the Robert and Janet Bennett Library celebrated 30 years. Here's a birthday video from our talented LivoniaTV team.
I think it's worth to say that almost 4 years ago, August 7th, 1984 to be exact, the citizens of Livonia planted a seed. They approved by a solid vote margin a $1 million additional ad valorem tax for purposes of constructing a new civic center library and for the operation of libraries. This evening, you and I are privileged to be the first to view and use this facility, which represents the fruit of that planting.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready. Well, I was actually here at the Bennett Civic Center Library when they opened in 1988, and I was a lot younger then.
It's difficult to think of a single favorite memory of the Livonia Civic Center Library.
I usually like to pick up books and request them. We usually don't read here, but sometimes. My favorite thing about the library, read books. All the books.
My favorite memory of the library was being part of the summer reading program video.
The video game.
Everyone here is like family to me. I could list 20 people and then another 20 people who I love dearly. But I'll only mention one, and that's Danny. 5 years after I started working here, we had a lunch date, and in next year we'll have been together for 10 years. So since the guys can't be here, this is their picture.
My favorite thing about it would probably be how helpful everybody is and nice, and how hard they try to help us.
I think I'm most proud of our children's librarians and all that they do and the fabulous programs they have for the kids.
We had a drum circle here not long ago, and my kids weren't quite sure about it, but once they grabbed a drum or something to beat on, they were having a blast.
Very fun memories of the patrons particularly.
I did the reading program when I was her age, and now they're signed up for it.
The books are great, but the people are better.
Do you want us to be really goofy?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Livonia Library.
I love this place. And happy birthday, Bennett Civic Center Library.
Say, happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Happy 30th, Livonia Public Library.
Happy birthday, Livonia Public Library.
Happy birthday, Livonia Library.
Happy birthday, Livonia Library. Happy birthday, library.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Livonia Library.
That's cool. Happy birthday. Wasn't that great? Especially that handsome guy at the end. What a knockout, huh? Next, I'd like to do something different. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Livonia Police Chief Curtis Cade and Livonia Fire Chief Dave Havner.
Before I begin speaking about the fire department, I would like to take a brief moment to acknowledge our great community. From our citizens, business owners, patrons, employees, department heads, and of course our elected officials. Together, we make Livonia a fantastic community. So let me talk just a little bit about the fire department. This past year, while completing a building renovation and managing an aggressive training schedule, the department still responded to a record-breaking 11,113 emergency calls. This represents about a 23% increase over the past 5 years. Due to the continued increase in need for our service, we are currently working on a strategic plan to staff an additional ambulance to uphold the highest level of service for the community. It is important to note that even during times of extreme demand on our system, our firefighters are dedicated to not only responding to emergencies, but they are also continuing to plan, train, and prepare for all types of emergencies. Not only does the department directly serve the Livonia community, but we are also heavily involved in county-wide resources, such as the Western Wayne Urban Search and Rescue Team, the Western Wayne Hazardous Materials Team, the Western Wayne Special Ops Program, including the SWAT Medic Program. And these programs ensure that we have a solid working relation with our community neighbors. Your fire department is comprised of a fantastic group of people who have chosen to commit their service to honor and duty by providing safety and security to the community. And I want you all to know that the Livonia Fire Department stands ready to serve at all times. In a minute, you will see a short video highlighting the importance of the specialized training our firefighters receive, as well as the community partnerships that Livonia has taken a leading role in. On January 17th, around 6 p.m., in a neighboring community, a maintenance worker was working on the back of a tractor-trailer semi-truck. Unbeknownst to another individual, they decided to move that vehicle, knocking the maintenance worker off the back of it, reversing over him, and then pulling forward, driving back over top of him, essentially pinning him between and under the tractor tire wheels. After several attempts to rescue the individual from the situation, they were not successful. So a mutual aid call was placed to the city of Livonia for the use of their specialized equipment and training. Let's look at the news clip.
A big rig rescue. A worker falls from a semi-truck and becomes trapped underneath its wheels. Only on 7, Simon Shaquette shows us how first responders use specialized training and equipment to pull him to safety before things got any worse. Simon?
Brian, this was an amazing rescue. Firefighters from Livonia and Plymouth Township were all involved, and it's something they've spent a lot of time training for.
These type of events, they're challenging because we don't see them all the time.
It was 8 p.m. Thursday when highly trained first responders got the call. Lieutenant Nathan Lee recalls utilizing special training and equipment in a rapid response.
We carry stabilization cribbing, lifting airbags, high lift jacks, all things designed to stabilize vehicles, semi-trucks, even buildings if need be.
The victim, a man working on top of a semi-truck making repairs, had tumbled down and became lodged between the tires of a semi.
On the way to Plymouth, I was calling for information, asking how many axles on the truck so I can get weight estimates for our lifting devices. What was his condition? Was he under the trailer? Was he under the tractor?
With the clock ticking, it took the experts 40 minutes to safely pull him out.
Fortunately, he was stable. He was talking to us. No major injuries. So at that point in time, we're able to be very diligent, make sure that we're not causing additional harm.
At this point, it appears the man working on the vehicle fell when someone moved the trailer by mistake. A close call that miraculously ended without serious injuries.
He was very good. He was calm. He did a great job. Plymouth Township, they did an excellent job when they showed up on scene, to assess him, stabilize him, make sure that, he knew what was going on. And then when we showed up to assist, we just took it from there.
Now, this all happened here near 5 Mile and Beck Road, but the story has since spread. It is all over social media. Great job by those first responders. Reporting live, Simon Shaquette, 7 Action News.
Indeed, Simon. Great to have a nice positive story this evening.
Thanks to the efforts of our Livonia firefighters, that patient was successfully freed with relatively minor injuries considering the circumstances. We have with us today several of our firefighters that responded to this call. I would ask that when I read your name, please stand and remain standing. Captain Phil Cam, Lieutenant Nathan Lee, Driver Scott Haggerty, Firefighter Adam Pryor. These firefighters represent the heroic work that is routinely done by all of the members of the fire department. Please join me in thanking each of them for their courage, their fortitude, and their duty to others. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for being here today, and I especially thank you for supporting the Livonia Fire Department. Now, without further ado, I would like to invite Police Chief Curtis Cade to the podium to talk a little bit about the Livonia Police Department.
Thank you, Chief Hevner, and it's great to be with all of you this afternoon as we celebrate the great accomplishments, and I didn't have any wine, accomplishments of the city of Livonia. We're all pretty familiar with cat rescues that we see from the fire department, where a cat's stuck in a tree and things like that. Well, here we have a police version of a cat rescue.
He's on this side of the road. Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, it's okay.
FENTANYL, translated at receiver located 9249, EDL 9249. FENTANYL, translated at receiver located 9249, EDL 9249 on blue Lexus SUV.
It's okay, baby. Okay, we'll crack money.
Yeah, obviously this ends well, but quite honestly, the video is much more lengthy than this, where the cat is darting back and forth, and really a kitten back and forth up and down the inner wall of the freeway, and you can imagine really the complexity of that, trying to rescue the cat from himself, and then should the cat run into traffic, we can all guess what was likely to occur. But also more probable as well is with the police car and this kitten running out in the freeway, potentially causing a number of accidents as people try to avoid the kitten. So all's well that ends well, and I'm sure some of you, when you're looking at this, is that cop, is he old enough to drive? And yes, he is. So it's great to be here with you, and I'm going to touch on a couple of topics. The first topic I'm going to touch on is the opioid crisis, and that's been alluded to earlier in the presentation. This is a national crisis. We're all familiar with it, and like other communities, Livonia has had significant challenges in dealing with the issues before us. Our statistics for operating a vehicle under the influence of narcotics in 2018 was up 51%. And that's not all attributed to opioids, but it is a trend that we've been seeing over the last number of years. On average, so far in 2019, the Livonia Police Department and fire departments respond to an opioid overdose once every 3 days. And there's weeks where it's one or more a day, and then there's a period of time that we may not have any. But that number is also increasing, and it's a significant challenge for us. And the opioid issue receives certainly a lot of publicity, as it should, but one issue that does not get the publicity that it should in this regard is fentanyl and carfentanil. We have determined, and this again nationally, that fentanyl and carfentanil are a significant cause to these overdoses. Fentanyl is 80 to 100 times more powerful than morphine. Carfentanil is 10,000 times more powerful than morphine. And below that, I have a lead from a local newspaper, and this is just outside of Cleveland. East Liverpool police officer suffers fentanyl overdose from drug call. Patrolman Chris Green accidentally brushed a powder off of his uniform with his bare hand, and he passed out soon afterwards. It took 4 doses of Narcan to revive that officer. And just to, this is incredibly powerful, where, again, he's got a little bit of residue on his uniform, doesn't think anything of it after making an arrest, brushes it off, and then begins to overdose. In Livonia, about 6-7 weeks ago, one of our officers made a routine traffic stop. Arrested a driver, there's 2 occupants in the car, and as a result of the arrest, searched the vehicle, and there were some plastic baggies with no visible residue on them as he searched the car. Touched one of the baggies, then got back in his police car and began to feel an effect. Called for medical assistance. Narcan was administered to him. It's here in our backyard. We're dealing with it, and it's a significant threat to our officers. About 2 weeks ago, officers responded to a traffic crash on I-96. As part of that investigation, speaking to drivers, speaking to witnesses, and as the officer was speaking to one of the drivers, he notices, or he looks in the passenger seat of one of the cars involved and notices that this individual is convulsing and turning blue. All of our officers are issued Narcan, speaks to the driver regarding, is this a medical issue? Is there narcotics involved? The driver confesses, yeah, they both have drug addiction issues. The officer immediately administers Narcan and begins to revive that individual. It's a success story, but it is a difficult thing that our community and our society is dealing with as we move forward. And there's plenty of families that have had these effects that are coping with this destruction as they continue with their lives. What I'm really happy to announce or to discuss is an effort that is a community partnership between a variety of different groups. St. Mary Mercy Hospital, Conference of Western Wayne, GrowthWorks, our police department and fire department, Northville Township, Canton Township Police and Fire, and Westland Police Department and Fire. And this is a very unique program that is overseen to a degree between St. Mary's and GrowthWorks and Conference of Western Wayne, where we are partnering with those institutions to offer a very unique opportunity for people that are in crisis, narcotic crisis with opioids, to get the help, the medical help that they need from St. Mary's immediately. And I'm pleased to announce that so far 648 patients have been offered this program, and this is less than a year in place. And 86 of those people approached has said, yes, please help me. That's an incredible statistic. And having those people on board and recognizing in their moment of clarity that I have a problem and I need help is great work by all of those partners. And I want to thank, I know the St. Mary's team is here, I'm not sure if GrowthWorks, but Kendall Canton is here, and the other communities. So thank you all for that relationship and that partnership. Now, Livonia remains a safe community, and I'm also very pleased to announce that our crime rate continues to decrease. Year to date, our Part 1 crimes are down 15%. Part 1 crimes are basically violent crime. Part 2 crimes, which are essentially property crimes, are down 40%. And our success is dependent on our partnerships that we have in the community, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce, the different institutions and communities that surround us. We're all in this together in providing the very best community and safe environment for our families and for our children. So we're quite proud of that. The last thing I wanted to touch on is an achievement that we received just recently, and that is the accreditation of the Livonia Police Department through the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. This is a very demanding process that requires an agency that applies, where assessors come in at a particular point and determine our compliance with a number of different protocols that they have in place, best practices, policies, and procedures. It's a very demanding process that generally takes up to 2 years to achieve. We were very fortunate through the deliberation of our staff that we were able to achieve this accreditation in less than a year, and actually 9 months. And we received our accreditation at the City Council meeting this past Monday. I can't say enough on this process and the accreditation and what it means to our agency and to our community. It demonstrates our commitment, the commitment of every member of the Livonia Police Department to serve all of you with nothing else but the highest standards of professionalism going forward. This also gives us a great opportunity to take a good look inside. And as I've mentioned to some folks over time when we're going through this, when you're so ingrained in our agency as I am, and I know the Livonia Police Department, I know what they're about, and I know that we provide excellent services to our community, it is good to have somebody come in, because sometimes you don't see the forest through the trees when you're in that environment. So having others come in and make that analysis and really confirm for us what we knew was very, very beneficial. So I want to thank all of the members of the Livonia Police Department for their commitment. I'm so very, very proud to be their chief and humbled by their level of professionalism and their commitment to this community. And I thank all of you for being here today. Without your support, our jobs would be much, much, much more challenging. Thank you very much. Mayor Wright.
Thanks, Chiefs. Now I'd like to ask all the first responders here today to stand up, and let's show them our appreciation for what they've done. Thank you all. Now, let's talk about Livonia's business community. Business vacancy rates continue to come down. Livonia has a 2.8% vacancy rate on industrial buildings. That's fantastic. That's a Livonia record for industrial buildings and more proof that of our economic strength. New and expanding buildings seem to be everywhere. One giant building that's just getting ready to open up is Republic National Distributing Company on Eccles Road. They deliver wine and spirits all over Michigan. It's next to the Amazon building on the where the old GM plant was. Here's a short video on RNDC.
Hi, I'm Steve Roschow. I'm the Executive Vice President for Republic National Distributing Company in the state of Michigan. We are a wine and spirits wholesaler in the state of Michigan, so we distribute to bars, restaurants, package stores, Meijer, Kroger, CVS. Pretty much anybody that carries wine or spirits is getting a delivery from us. We did a lot of studies and we came back to service our customers the best, that this was the ideal location, close to the 275 and I-96 corridor. And the city's been great, and it's going to be a big asset for not only RNDC but our customers as well, with efficiencies and delivery times and et cetera.
We're 515,000 square feet as we're built today, but the property has future expandability for another 250,000 square feet. So based on our current business model, we have the ability to expand that extra 250,000 square feet in the future. This is our largest facility in the entire RNDC network and the most technologically advanced building in the RNDC network. Because of the way we go to market here, it's unique with the number of bottles that we ship compared to other markets. Where there are more cases, we do a lot more bottles here in Michigan. So we have a lot of technology and even the introduction of some robotics in the warehouse here to help us move into the 21st century, truly.
No, we're very happy to be here. The city of Livonia has been great. They've been a pleasure to work with. We've gotten to meet the mayor early on. Nothing but fantastic things to say about the city. And look, we're excited to be here, and we're excited to service our customers much, much better in the state of Michigan.
I'd like to ask the folks with us today for RNDC to please stand and join me in welcoming them to Livonia. There's lots more redevelopment going on around in Livonia. Quality METALCRAFT on Farmington Road is expanding to better serve their automotive, defensive, and mobility customers. NYX recently added 60,000 square feet of building on Plymouth Road. They assemble the interior systems for the new Ford Explorer and the Lincoln Navigator. Now they're adding 100 new jobs with that too. And then there's the old Chi-Chi's restaurant. I'll just get in here. Yes, I miss those nachos. The word was out, but I don't miss the vacant property, and it was an eyesore for so long. The new Aldi's Market is a welcome investment. Remember the old Holidome on 6 Mile? It's now a brand new Holiday Inn and Johnny's Italian Steakhouse. All this food, let's see. And where the old Moy's restaurant, Chinese restaurant was, located on Middle Belt, there is a new Vibe credit union being built. Several big projects are still coming to Haggerty Road and 7 Mile. And the old tech center near the AMC 20 theaters are being redeveloped by Jonah Development. When it's done, the Haggerty Center will have apartments and a new shopping center. The A123 systems building off of 7 Mile and 275 is also headed for a new future and an outpatient care center. And new apartments are being planned near I-275 and 7 Mile. Okay, let's talk about other great things happening here. One of those is Healthy Livonia. We're very proud of the Healthy Livonia initiative. Here's a video to show us about that.
Healthy Livonia is a collaboration with St. Mary Mercy Livonia, the City of Livonia, its Parks and Recreation Department, the Chamber of Commerce, and Livonia Public Schools to create healthy living in the community. The Healthy Livonia Committee aims to seek funding to promote health initiatives and community activities to make Livonia a uniquely healthy place for people to work, live, learn, and play.
The vision of the Universal Playscape project that we have behind us was to create a space for children of all abilities to come together and play together. The Rotary Club was at the point of starting to send out grants, and we were contacted by Healthy Livonia at that point, an organization that is organized through St. Mary's Hospital that's committed to healthy initiatives in the community. They informed us that they were making a commitment to the project in the amount of $100,000. It was this support that put us in position to apply for a grant with the state of Michigan. Here to represent Healthy Livonia is Dave Spivey, CEO at St. Mary's Hospital.
One thing that really struck me is that the size of this place and the renderings didn't do it justice. I mean, this is awe-inspiring when you take a look at it. And really what is most fulfilling about it is to see all these kids and families out here, because that's what it's really about. That's what's going to create a healthy Livonia well into the future. And so this is a very satisfying moment for me. Thank you very much.
In addition to making the universally accessible playground a reality, Healthy Livonia dedicated funding to other city projects. Directional trail signage was installed at Bicentennial Park. Healthy Livonia is also assisting in the development of a pedestrian bridge at Harry Tatajan Park and Nature Preserve, formerly Hellman Park. The bridge will connect paths, allowing for safe travel throughout the park. And earlier this year, nearly 500 runners and walkers came out to celebrate healthy living in their community at the inaugural Healthy Livonia 5K. The future for Healthy Livonia is bright, with more projects and activities to come. To learn more about how you can help, visit stmarymercy.org/healthylivonia.
Of course, Healthy Livonia wouldn't be possible without St. Mary Mercy Hospital and the vision of CEO David Spivey. Please join me in congratulating Dave and the entire team of St. Mary. While I'm at it, I would like to ask the first citizen, Marty Talty, members of the Livonia Rotary Clubs, and everyone who worked on this plate structure park to please stand and be recognized. In Livonia Public Schools, the work is almost done on the renovations funded by the $195 million bond issue. Churchill High School's new auditorium and athletic complex were almost done. And all this looks so good. The Chamber recently honored LPS with a Community Enhancement Award. Last year, Clarenceville celebrated the opening of the new Tim Shaw Stadium and a ribbon-cutting ceremony, and I had the honor of cutting the ribbon. This beautiful athletic complex is another big improvement for Livonia. Okay, let's continue. Let's talk about housing here in Livonia. Just look at our housing values. They're going up again this year for the 7th year in a row. This year, home values will increase an average of 8.5%. You don't get that kind of money out of your bank. Wait, is Comerica here? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, they are. Okay. We have new senior citizen housing sites being built on Farmington Road and on Plymouth Road. And plenty of new single-family houses are being built. We have 200 new homes being built or being planned. That includes 50 new homes at the old Clay School property. Check out this next video about the housing sales in Livonia.
Good afternoon. My name is Enrico Suave with Bellagio Homes Incorporated. Personally, I've been building homes in Livonia for over 20 years now. When I started with my father, he started building houses in Livonia probably in the 1980s. I remember being a kid in our old house on Vargo Street. Over the years, we've earned a reputation which was not given of building quality homes, quality developments, and standing behind our products. Old Clay School project, Heritage Square, that's one of our more and most exciting developments of recent time. That's a 50-lot subdivision, all single-family homes, ranging from 1,600 plus square feet all the way up to 2,700 plus square feet. Before we even closed on the property, we had people from Livonia, within Livonia, asking, what are you guys putting there? When can we buy? When can we put a deposit down? But after a long period of negotiation, we came up with which we think is a great community.
I'm Gary J. Regish. I'm the broker-owner of Remerica United Realty, and I have the pleasure of being in charge of the sales and marketing for Bellagio Homes and Enrico Suave. I have to say that we are so proud of the reception that we have received here in Livonia with our new construction product. You take a look at Washington Park, homes that were selling in the $300 to $350 price range, 50 houses sold out in about a year. Mystic Creek, a high-end solution, home selling in the $600,000 price range, same thing, approximately a year, we're already heading towards closeout. You see, a healthy new construction environment is critical to the economics of a community. Now, here's something that's really exciting to me. As I tally up the people who have been buying our new construction, 73% of them are Livonia residents. Or they're people that lived in Livonia long-term, and because there wasn't a solution available to them, they moved out of the community. Well, now because there is a solution, they're moving back. That's exciting. You see, that shows that Livonia residents want to stay in Livonia. So kudos to people like Enrico Suave, Bellagio Homes, and the Suave family, and more importantly, the mayor of Livonia, his staff, the city council, the zoning board, and all the committees, because you see, they're delivering on the experience that Livonia residents expect.
It always brings great pride when someone comes up to me and goes, hey, I live in one of your guys' houses. And this might not even be the original homeowner. This is someone that bought the house maybe 2 or 3 times over, and they still know of the Suave family, know who built it, and they're actually proud of saying, we built the home they live in.
How is that for great news? When it's done, Heritage Square will be the biggest housing development in over 10 years in Livonia. In the past, we worked with Wayne County to try and get our main roads fixed. Last year, we helped pay for repairs on Farmington Road from Schoolcraft to Plymouth. Just recently, we were told the county will begin a long-awaited repairs on Haggerty Road from 5 to 6 Mile. I know we can't wait for them to fix the damn road, especially George at Coney Island. Merry Christmas, George. We had another great turnout for our second annual Merry and Bright Holiday Parade in December. Thanks to Councilman Scott Barr, who initiated this idea. This year we had a little rain on our parade, but it didn't dampen our spirit. During the parade, we all got to see one very spectacular float. I hope you saw this float when you came in here today. The float was for the moving wall, was created and staffed by veterans from Roush Engineering. We appreciate all the time and effort they put into it. I'd like to ask the Roush team to stand. Please help us by congratulating them. Now here's a video preview of our moving wall event this summer. I know it's going to be a great event, but it couldn't happen without our community's support. We thank you all. Thanks to our committee led by Joanna Hardesty, and thanks to the veterans and volunteers. When it comes to donors for the moving wall, Masco Corporation really stepped up as our presenting sponsor. Thank you, Keith Allman, Sue Sable, and the entire Masco team. While we're at it, let's recognize our other large donors. They are DMB Landscaping, Alpha USA, Fosson and Bond, NYX, Livonia Spree, and BMD Charities. Thank you all. During my time as mayor, I've been a part of many great things and many challenges. I hope I've kept this city moving forward. I hope I made a difference. I cut a lot of ribbons as your mayor. Clement Circle Splash Pad, the doggy park, or dog park for one, Masco, and more and more. One of the most satisfying was cutting the ribbon for the new playground at Rotary Park. This was such a good idea, and what an awesome project for our community. That's the stuff I'm going to miss about this job. Getting to know people, connecting with businesses, and helping others. We still have much to do in the months ahead. I have enjoyed working with Dan West and the team from Chamber of Commerce. I've appreciated the cooperation from the City Council. And it's been a pleasure to work with the leadership team and all the employees. Serving as your mayor has been and continues to be an honor and a privilege. Thank you and God bless. Thank you all. One more thing. I thought about this last night. What do I really love about this job? It's helping people. And our department director, department heads are the best people I've ever worked with. I've had 7 careers in my life. This is the best. You don't get no better than this. You're Livonia. You are the best. And I don't know.
Stay strong.
Yeah. Duh. Thank you.
Quickly, before we officially adjourn, I'd like to call the Livonia City Clerk, Livonia City Treasurer, and the members of the Livonia City Council to please come to the stage for a special acknowledgement of Mayor Wright.
Well, good afternoon. We're very honored to be here with our mayor, who's done some fabulous, fabulous things, and our First Lady behind him as well, and his family. And we would like to share a small token of our appreciation, Mayor. And it's been a long road for you, and we're so proud of you and the many accomplishments you've done. This is by a local artist, Mayor. From the City Council, our City Clerk, and our City Treasurer. It is a oil of green meat. Don't touch it too much, it might smear. And it's for all the historical things you've done. And it's of a winter scene because I know that you have a birthday in the winter, and it's very special. And you're very special. God bless you, Mayor.
She also just failed to tell you that her birthday is almost the same day. Anyway, thank you all for coming today. Drive safely. Go Livonia.